Greetings! Welcome to another episode of the Italian RTG, and I have one question and one question only. Is this what love feels like? Jokes aside, Verratti SBC came out late last evening, and so we obviously completed it on the Italian RTG. It was a no-brainer. We have untradables that have no other purpose than to be used in SBCs. We'll replenish the club with those untradables that we had to use for this. And here he is. Obviously, for FIFA purposes, we would have loved more than 72 pace, but he has great physical, he has good defending. The packs weren't the best, but it was a no-brainer, right? And so today's episode is obviously the beginning of our run in Elite Division, but before that, we actually are going to show you guys this game I played in the Foot Champions playoff. I just played one game in the Foot Champs playoffs to try Verratti, because by the time he came out, I had already completed all my Rivals games in Elite Division, so we're gonna go back in time, I guess, if you will, in this episode. And I was excited about this because it gave me an opportunity to play the 4-1-4-1, which, by the way, if you want to know my tactics and instructions, they're in the previous episode. But it gave me a chance to play that formation with 3 pure center mids. So now that we're gonna be seeing Barella, Tonali, and Verratti in that trio in the middle, as opposed to earlier we had Politano. This is obviously a temporary change for just this one single game. We're going to decide who's going to start where, what we're going to do after Rivals Rewards tomorrow at some point. So the game starts with an Insigne curler, but Verratti would start at right center mid where Politano was to start, just to push him, to test him. As you see, right stick or left stick dribbling felt really nice. Shooting, he's not a shooter. His stats aren't great for shooting, but we wanted to try them anyways. Obviously, the left stick is good. Acceleration is okay. Left foot, abysmal. Abysmal beyond belief, like for shooting purposes, that is, right? So it makes sense. Eventually, Verratti would actually get the goal. So if he has it on his right foot, it works. But I still think that his best position is as a CDM. Now, that's a great ball, and just don't let that distract you from the fact that Insigne just missed that goal. Outrageous. So to pull away, we try to find the open man on the wing that this formation oh so often provides, and we missed that too, off his mistake. We try to make it solo with Chiesa, the superstar. He shoots, but it's a great save from his keeper. And so we decide to throw away all the creative juices and say, fuck it, I'm just gonna dribble past him, and that we do. Then Barella into Insigne, and it's a nice body feint into a curler on the far post. And we tried in the second half to use Verratti more in the CDM position, and I thought that was phenomenal. So you could see Tonali's pushing up more because we moved him there, which also makes sense. He's faster, he has better shooting stats. Even though he's clunkier, he works better here as our opponent gets a goal back. So that combination of 3-man midfield, I think Verratti is the best deep-lying playmaking CDM type guy, even though it would be much more fun to use him in an advanced role. As you see here, again, his left foot is just not great. But that was the end, essentially, of this playoffs game. Verratti, EA, thank you for releasing a beautiful card like that. More to come, please. Let's just not have another 7 French rule breakers. And so now let's go back in time and show you guys how we went on in our Elite Division debut. And like I said, no Barella, unfortunately, but this is where we started. This is the screen we initially saw before we played any games. Everyone starts at 1800 skill rating, and what a way to be greeted by Italian boy Conte, Garincha. We've got Neymar, and it would start as the pitch lines of pink variants would bleed my eyes. We couldn't jockey as fast as we expected with Cannavaro. That's something I'm noticing a little bit with Cannavaro. Sometimes his jockeying really lets me down, and so we start to try and build some momentum with that first long shot from Tonali. Eventually that should have been easily a goal initially with the Shirai, but thank God Chiesa is there for the putback, and so we continue to pile on pressure, and we get very lucky here to win it back with Politano, and we make use of that situation, cross it back, and we're there for the putback. Here we have to stay strong, defend, Croqueta, Elastico, stuff like that, and Giorgione Chiellini manages to do so. Spaces start to arise as he puts pressure on us, but the half would end as we overhit what was seemingly an enticing and easy through ball. And like I said, the spaces were there for the taking. We cross it and it's just ever so slightly too potent of a cross, but we do well to work it back in, and that's 3-1, ladies and gentlemen. We are cruising. We're building chances in tight spaces, like 8 of his players right in the center, and we find a significantly beautiful ball, but unfortunately it wasn't to be to finish it off the counter. Though we got a little bit ahead of ourselves, started pushing too much, and we give him a counter where Neymar punishes us. So he turns on constant press. We have to survive. Any chance that we can create is huge. Kind of an uncomfortable situation on the right foot, but it would be enough as we hold out to get our first win in our first game in Elite Division. Only 2 left to get our rewards. To keep the streak going, that was the mission against El Fenomeno with a 4-4-2 Barella-Vidal combination in the midfield, and we would start with Insigne looking to get a shot off. As you can see, I'm a lot more I guess aggressive when I'm looking for finishes. I'll take anything I can get, especially now in the Elite Division. I just want to build up momentum, and here we almost get the lucky goal. That's the classic: score and you're lucky, don't score, you're unlucky. Keeper goes insane, and then right off the bat we get a counter. We have to decide, do we cut the lane, do we get the man with the ball? And in the end we just throw it all over the place. Probably over switched, should have stayed with Chiellini, and then he does a good job of capitalizing. We ended up switching to the 4-3-1-2 because we noticed he didn't have a big midfield presence, but I got too hasty there, and off his second shot in the game he would have a very easy shot. And so we're in the 60th minute. This is one of them chances which is actually really big, but you just take it nonetheless because you have to, but also deep inside you know it's never going in. So it's El Shaarawy out the corner kick. We try to make it curl in like so many do, but we're not that great at those. Not yet, at least. So a carbon copy chance almost. Oh, that first chance, huge chance, but this time it's the defender who blocks it for him. And this is one that this one really pissed me off. Out of anyone, this was the one that really should have gone in. Only 2 shots from him the entire game, but this is the Elite Division. You know, I had 10 shots. Most of them I didn't show because essentially they were blocked. I was always like just a few centimeters away from having the space to shoot and potentially score. But yeah, welcome to Elite Division. No problem though. It's gonna happen. Bumps in the road. We're playing with a full Italian, so all we gotta do now is go on to the next one and win. Julian stands in the way with a bit of a prem team with some hybrid nature of it. We've got Dembele, we've also got Kimpembe. The French links, man, you know how they go. So it's Barella looking to get a shot off. It's a great look, but we overpower it maybe just a tad. Unfortunate crossbar. So we find the wide man out wide, and it's El Shaarawy bearing it beautifully. That's why sometimes I prefer a right-footed guy on the right. So it's Politano, takes it into his own hand. Nice little explosive sprint while we select or push against a man who is not selected. And then we do well to stay on him. We mess it up, but he gives it right back to us and allows us to create another marvelous chance. But it would be Areola's leg denying us once again. So it's Spinazzola out wide, Insigne. The spaces are there, so Tonali runs inside, and it's a beautiful play to get Politano on the receiving end of that cross. That's pretty much, I think we could baptize that as a pattern. As we see, we get punished here by Messi. His first shot all game, it's a right-footed curler from Messi. Outrageous. What can you do? What can you do? So off the counter, we know the pass we want to play, but so does he, unfortunately, and he reads it. But we would be there very quickly to get it back with El Shaarawy. And here I thought I overplayed my hand a little bit, but it all works out in the end. And that is 3-1, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be enough for him. 11 shots to 3, and we get our victory number 6. Only 1 more left. In hopes of this being the final hurdle, it'll be 4-4-2 Kindergeld facing us. And yeah, let's see. Can we make it 7-4-8 in Elite debut? Now, Insigne, this would be a chance that you would actually see from him in real life a lot, actually. Just the curler that just leaves you a little bit disappointed. Anyways, our opponent would turn into Santa Claus and gift us a nice little opportunity to make it 1-0. And I'm not lying, this was a bit of a snooze fest of a game because I would then return the favor early in the second half. Although, let's be honest, he did get a little bit luckier than I did. So, shortly thereafter, we did a drag back with Kies. I actually wanted to exit the other way, so we ended up going back there eventually, and it worked out. it worked out, and we're in the 84th minute, so that should tell you everything you need to know about the stalemate of this game, but there was always time to get a couple nice goals here, as we see how Sharawi slots it in, and then it's Insigne going on a bit of a solo run, dribbling everyone. Chiesa, all he has to do is slot it in past the AI, and that was that. So we get our victory. We end 34 skill points higher than when we started, aka when we first entered, like everyone else getting 1800 points, and we decided to open our Team of the Week packs. Bad idea, good idea, it doesn't matter in the end. These are so bad. So it's a discard pack number 1. Yes, it's Italian Grifo, but he's not even coming close to my team. So then we get the other Italian, Buffon. Not really someone I want to be using, but okay. And in the final premium Team of the Week pack, could it be Vinicius? It's not, but it is a walkout who is worth like what, 2k more than the discard inform usually is. So it is what it is. We'll take our 90k in discard values, maybe like 92, whatever. And that was it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed this jam-packed episode, the arrival of Verratti in the club. And of course, I'll catch you guys next time for the Foot Champs playoffs, the Foot Champs playoffs packs, but most importantly, the rivals rewards that maybe will cause a shift in the club.